Hey. Oh, what's up? Morning.
What's going on, guys? What are you guys doing back here? You guys aren't just coming back here and doing donuts like all these donuts are back here?
No.
Yeah, and these are not from us.
As of 3 weeks ago, I didn't even know this type of Volkswagen existed. Created for only the 2008 model year, the Mark V R32 was an all-wheel drive beast with an extra 2 cylinders. Yet, for some reason, the bro bag culture has shoved the WRX and Lancer Evolution down our throats and just forgot about the R32 almost entirely. Except I'm here to tell you that the R32 is a better WRX than the WRX. Okay, that does sound outlandish, but hear me out. The official brand idea behind the WRX and the Lancer Evolution was for it to be a rally car for the streets. Now, the Mitsubishi was more hardcore, and it even abided by the 2-liter engine-sized WRC constraint. So if you want the experience, go buy an Evo, and then buy another car to drive daily so you can keep your spine straight and your repairs to a minimum. For most people though, this 2-car deal was not an option. So they bought the softer WRX. It still looked mean, almost as mean as its Evo Fighter brother, the STI, but with much less horsepower and a lot more of the previously mentioned livability. So what does this all mean about the R32? Well, the R32 looks like a GTI, which is a bit slower, only front-wheel drive, and softer. As most people know, dudes in their 20s don't want to look soft. But most don't have the resources or the strength to buy either the real deal machines. So they pick up a WRX, and then the R32 just flies under the bro radar simply because it doesn't look the part. But damn, they're missing out.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I hate 4-cylinders.
Why?
I don't know, just 4 cylinders, they don't really sound that good. They're kind of underwhelming in my opinion, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
And
unless you get one that's really properly tuned.
Yeah, and my issue with 4 cylinders is they don't have power.
Okay, so normally I would argue here, just because there's plenty of 4-cylinders out there that do make a lot of power and are quite impressive. But in this case, he's got a point. The VR6 engine in here sounds heavenly, and it makes its peak torque at the same 2800 RPMs as the 08 WRX. And the throttle response is in a different league thanks to the natural aspiration, but also to the glorious dual clutch transmission, or as Volkswagen calls it, DSG.
Yeah, the only gearbox I like for automatics is DSG.
And I've heard a lot of things about that, like even in regular car reviews, like more recent review of the was it the GTI?
Yeah, the red one.
Yeah, the GTI or the DSG. He said it was one of the only automatic transmission that he liked. I want to give this a quick, just see, just blindly smash him whenever he gets dry.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it didn't shuffle through gears. It took a second, but it didn't shuffle. It just went straight to the correct gear. That's not bad. One thing we do need to talk about is that you've kept this completely stock.
Yeah.
And it sounds the way it does.
Yeah,
it handles the way it does. So
yeah.
The steering, I've just been gathering up a little bit of thoughts on it. It's really nice. I was expecting, because they had some complaints with That's quick. But they had some complaints with the with the Audi TT.
There was something weird about that car. I'm trying to think about it. It really suffered from understeer. I know that.
Yeah, maybe it's just its proportions because
I think
different. And
I think yeah.
Audi numbs the hell out of everything too. I've driven some newer Audis. I drove an A7. I didn't drive the RS7. The A7, there's no feel. It feels like the Sequoia. There's nothing there. It's precise, but it's just so light. I don't like it very much. This has some, and the steering wheel. Holy shit!
I know it's like a good steering wheel.
I got off topic there a bit, but it's worth mentioning that this has to be among the best feeling steering wheel in a car under $100,000. But the bigger deal here is the exceptional feel, direction, and turn-in that the steering wheel provides. This much communication through the wheel is impressive for any car, let alone an all-wheel drive car with a heavy 6-cylinder engine. Now, I've driven both the new WRX and the new STI, and I find this is better than both. Plus, the suspension is close to perfect when it comes to balancing comfort and sport. If anything, it does lean a little on the stiff side, which it's just doing to correct for the high center of gravity from the engine weight and the tall body. And the owner does tell me that sometimes he finds it harsh on rough roads due to this. But I don't see it as enough to deter me from the car. The interior is probably my only sincere knock on this car, not because it's bad, but because it's not special. In fact, it looks almost exactly like the significantly cheaper Rabbit in which it's based on. Hold for a plastic accent, the steering wheel, and the seats, which I do find great. The leather has a quality finish to it, and the bolstering holds the driver in securely, and it gives support where you need it. But now let's talk the overall verdict. The R32 is a better WRX than the WRX, because it satisfies the target audience better. People who buy the WRX most likely drive it daily, in which case you're going to want something comfortable. Something with the interior and exterior that just looks and feels of quality. Plus, they want the ability to launch hard and corner quickly. All of which I think the R30 can do better than the WRX. Plus, it's a little bit rare. It's something that you don't see every day. And I feel like that's something that shouldn't go untold, because when it comes to the car community, you really want a project that separates itself from the others. But anyway, I'm not saying that the WRX is a bad car. No, it's a little more affordable, it's easier to come by, and easier to repair. But is it superior to the R32? No. Look, a lot of people rag on Subi drivers for the whole sexually confused vape god cliche thing, but that aside, if you're thinking about picking up an Impreza sometime soon, consider the quick shifting and subtle looking R32 also, because I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed.